Bad Bunny. Like, what if that not really Puerto Rico?
They have no idea that 10K Projects is based in Tel Aviv. You know what I'm saying? Like they got, they got no idea. The CIA, jazz, and the Cold War. This is the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. I'm your host, AJ Hughes. I'm here with my co-host, Antonio Hughes. And today I wanted to talk about the CIA, jazz, and the Cold War. Do you have any idea how these three things are related?
No, I feel like there's a lot of CIA plants in our industry.
Well, soon to be our industry. You know what I'm saying? City is ours. Hashtag. You know what I'm saying? City is ours. But anyway, during the Cold War, post World War III, ideological war, that's what it was. Russia, the U.S., both an imminent threat of danger from each other. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew what was really going to happen during that time. The Soviets at the time were calling jazz a bourgeoisie and decadent offering of the US. Basically, like we were so privileged, Americans are so privileged that they had the option or they had the leisure and free time to listen to something like jazz, right? So, what the CIA did during the time was they created the Congress for Cultural Freedom, the CCF, in 1950 to counter Soviet cultural influence globally. The State Department launched the Jazz Ambassador Program. And in 1956, they sent Armstrong, Dizzy Gillespie, Ellington, Burbeck, and Goodman abroad. So they sent the biggest jazz artists at the time on a global tour, sent them to Eastern Europe, right? And the message that they wanted to push out, which is I think was almost a mind fuck in a way, they wanted to push out this message that was being pushed in jazz, which was like freedom. It was everything was off the cuff. Everything was sort of like liberated. And the irony of this, the juxtaposition of this is that when they would come home from these tours, they were still treated as second-class citizens, right? This was still the 20th century for African Americans. So the way that they were treated and the way that the music was portrayed and the tour was being pushed out, they were in complete conflict with each other. But to the outside world, to people who weren't here, they don't know how African Americans were being treated at the time. So it served the purpose that the US government was looking for at that time, which I think is crazy to think that they still went on this tour. Dizzy Gillespie and other jazz artists, they came out and talked about how the irony in it, right? He said that he had 19 million accompanists or all Black Americans denied their rights on his tour with him, right? So they knew that this was funded by the state government, and they saw the irony in it as well. In 1967, the New York Times exposed the CCF, right? They exposed the Congress for Cultural Freedom, and it collapsed really quickly after, right? Burbeck and Armstrong both made a book called The Real Ambassadors in 1961, critiquing this hypocrisy of them being sent abroad and being treated as such when they came home. And so they turned the propaganda platform into critique, which I think is interesting. And I think is how most Black artists actually end up speaking out, right? Like they end up enduring something that they didn't anticipate being done to them, and then they put it out in their music, they put it out in art, they put it out in journals, etc. But today, the State Department's organization that they use is called the Global Music Diplomacy Initiative. They launched it in 2023 under Biden. It's the same playbook where they're taking artists and sending them abroad. But this one, they're not putting out propaganda, right? This one, they're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Herbie Hancock, Diane Reeves, and Chuck D of Public Enemy are current participants of this program, which I found to be, if you know anything about Public Enemy and the music that they put out, it aligns with the story, but it's insane to me that Chuck D would be working for the government. I need to do more digging on Chuck D's relationship with the government. I think that's insane. But it got me to thinking when I read this, what instances have I seen in the media in the last couple of years that made me think, nah, this the government for sure? The only one I could think of was Burna Boy put out a statement saying he was putting on a free show in Burkina Faso maybe weeks after a military operative, a military general in the American State Department said that the leader of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, was he said he was like an enemy to American politics, essentially saying he's one of the worst out there. So I remember seeing that article where it was the tap dancing, you know what I'm saying? Where he was tap dancing and all that. And then weeks later, I saw Burna Boy saying he was putting on a free show there. And the conspiracy theorists were in the comments like, yo, this something's gotta be going on here. Right. And so I asked Claude if there was anything like if there was anything credible to this. And of course, there's no public information that factually corroborates the CIA working with Burna Boy in this instance. But I wanted to ask you, who do you think, if you had to take a guess, who do you think is being used by the state government today?
Funny you talked about 6ix9ine a couple weeks ago. I think 6ix9ine could be one of those people.
That's a good one.
I think that's one. I think all those people that went and did that comedy show in Saudi, they all look a little questionable. Like Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart. I still fuck with Dave Chappelle, but like that's a little suspect. I feel like that's trying to promote American values outwardly in that way. Um, I don't know. That's a
The
tough question.
crazy part about what you just said is that the part about this story that was something that I never thought about was that even if the people were pushing a narrative counter to, even if they were anti-America or they were anti-establishment in that way, right? Like these jazz artists, like if the narrative fit what they were trying to push to other parts of the world, they still got behind it, right? Like jazz artists weren't pro-establishment, they weren't pro-government. That wasn't a thing. But the message fit what they were trying to push. So it broadens the spectrum for who's, you know what I'm saying? I don't think 6ix9ine is like pro government, but I definitely could see them like throwing some, 10K projects might just be putting gasoline on the fire. Yeah.
Even like Live Nation, like the fact that they're buying up all these different companies and going to all these different places and putting artists in these stages, like they're definitely working for the government, like without a doubt. Like Live Nation is damn near. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure one of the people that went to China with Trump was the Live Nation CEO. Like he brought a bunch of tech and different CEOs from America. I would not be surprised if Live Nation was at that event, bro.
Listen, I there's a lot of I was going back and forth on this topic because it's like, am I just gonna sit here and just accuse people of being government actors? I don't know. So I tried to corner Claude. Claude kept saying, "Oh yeah, this is the program today, but there's no public information about any wrongdoing." I'm like, "So do you think they stopped?" And Claude was essentially like, "Nah, I don't think they stopped. Like, it's still probably going on in different ways, but we still, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no public information, so we don't know." And so I tried to ask, like, bro, I be trying to get super tricky with the words, trying to corner it. I'd be like, so with the information that you have available to you, there's no way for you to infer and give a probability to any artists, organizations, or businesses that may be involved with some. You know what I'm saying? I'd be wordsmithing. And then it was like, oh, it wouldn't be responsible of me for to make an inference about a company in a record. It's in a recorded chat. It's
Yeah,
in a
because it doesn't
recorded
want to get
chat.
caught.
I said, yo, that's crazy. And so I kept asking, and it gave me one name. It gave me one name. It said, it wouldn't be surprised if artists big in areas where America wants some level of media supremacy, if they were being pushed, propagandized, whatever. It said the way that the Weeknd is big in the Middle East, they could see some tie there. I thought that was one I would have never thought.
I would have never thought that either. Because, like, I mean, the comedy show, kind of the same idea. Like, or even like, Bad Bunny. Like, what if that nigga's not really Puerto Rican?
Bad
Like, you
Bunny.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, if Bad Bunny's not, Bad Bunny's Puerto Rican. Bad
I'm
Bunny's
just
Puerto
playing.
Rican, bro. Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's one of those things where it's like you don't want to come out and say, "Yo, you working with CIA," because they're gonna be like, "No, I'm not." But wasn't there? Remember the thing about was it Desi Banks in Israel?
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
But I mean,
I
there's a
think
lot of we don't got to get
I
into
think
Israel, but there's a
yeah, we
lot
don't
of
have to, but I think that's what's happening. I think what's actually happening in my mind is like now the governments are spinning off these projects that go open up LLCs and companies, and then these companies end up going to work with influencers, or they go work with they go sponsorships and stuff like that. And now you're sponsored by a company that's working as an agent, and you don't even know. So I feel like the artists now today they have no idea. They have no idea that 10K Projects is based in Tel Aviv. You know what I'm saying? Like they got they got you know you know they got no idea. I think
bro.
that's what's going on. So I don't want to throw nobody under the bus. But I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was really interesting for a lot of reasons.
No, that isn't. The government has their ways of doing stuff like that. Like they've always ran coups in different countries, but it's like the other part of that is just American influence. Like how do other countries and people in those other countries see America? And that kind of allows us to, move around the world in certain ways, have certain relationships. So
Tell me about M.I.A suing Kid Cudi because I thought this was a non-story when it initially came out, but now she's trying to get to a bag.
So M.I.A was on Kid Cudi's Rebel Ragers tour. Basically, she went onto a couple of different shows. She was making political statements. That's a part of her artistry. That's one of the things she's always done. That's one of the things that actually got her canceled back in the day. But she was at a different show and she said, "Free Palestine, make noise for Gaza." And then there was another one, and she was in Austin, Texas, and she was like, "Fuck ICE," and like there was just a bunch of stuff. And basically, Kid Cudi, direct quote, Kid Cudi intended to cause Live Nation to breach the agreement. Kid Cudi instructed Live Nation to breach the agreement to generate publicity and ticket sales for
Wait.
the tour.
She said that or he said that?
No, she said that was her complaint. That was in her complaint.
Oh.
Because he apparently, part of this was that he hadn't been getting many ticket sales. Like his ticket sales weren't doing that well. He had to cancel certain shows. And she was like, he was trying to use this as like publicity to get more people to be like, "Oh yeah, I like that he went against what she was saying," and whatever. But basically she wanted $2.8 million for that. And she said it was regardless of what she said on stage. That's something that was kind of in her contract. She's a politically motivated artist. So it's like for them to then be surprised about that, or for Kid Cudi to be like, "Nah, bro, you got to get off the tour." That's just not gonna work. And honestly, I think by law, like by the terms of the law, she's gonna win that. Like no bat. Like
You think
there's
she's
no
gonna
doubt.
win?
Just by the terms of the law, like you knew who I was coming into this, and you signed me to this contract. You knew this was something that might come with my show. So for you to now breach the agreement later, knowing that this was who I already was and what I already did, and it's not like I said, like, "Oh, I'm not gonna say anything crazy." It's not like I said something genuinely salacious. It's like ICE has been killing people. Like people in Gaza are walking through rubble every day. Like these aren't like these aren't insane things to say in the first place. But this maybe
What did
Kid
she
Cudi's a
say?
plan.
What did she
So
say
at one of the shows, she said, "Free Palestine," asked the audience to make noise for Gaza. In
with that?
Austin, Texas, she said, "Do you want me to say fuck ICE? Everybody give me the middle finger then." And then at the fourth show, she has a song and she had the audience chant her lyric, "Illegal, fuck your law," which is, I'm guessing, also kind of like the ICE thing. So
Oh, I'm with her. I'm with her. Okay. So Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi might be a plant. We just figured out who who the government is using that fast.
We gotta come up with another word for bruh. We gotta come up with another word for. And this is how much I knew about how much I cared about Kid Cudi's set initially. I thought she went on stage and said "fuck the illegal aliens" or something like that.
No.
That's what I thought she said. But the fact that she's going out here repping for Gaza and for Kid Cudi to be like, "Nah, I don't want that at my show." What do you want at your show?
Yeah, oh God. I'm like, what do you want her to say? Like,
What do you want her to say at the show, bro? What's wrong with bro? What's wrong with bro? But this is what I feel like the caveat comes in. Kid Cudi said, "I told her I ain't want none of that at my show." Right? And so my thought would be if you said that to her coming in, "I don't want none of this political stuff at my show." I feel like you and your team will probably write something in saying like how you said, but I wasn't. You knew what you were gonna get before I signed the contract. The contract might have said you can't say something.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We don't have the contract, and I'm saying she's gonna win that if in the contract they did not explicitly state you cannot say anything politically motivated at all at any of the shows. That's really how this law should be working. Like
Yeah,
you have to have it down
yeah.
to the so I think I think by law she gonna win that. I think they're gonna give her that bag. I also think they might
I'm
give
with
her that
her.
bag. Yeah. Yeah.
I was totally wrong about M.I.A. I thought she was going on stage bugging out. I thought she was going out there saying like, "Yo, I know too many Hispanic homies, bro. I got too many of them to be like, yo, I'm with I." I thought he was saying where I don't know. They were spreading propaganda because I thought M.I.A. was on stage bugging. But now that I know this is what she was saying, and Kid Cudi's like, "No, you're bugging, Kid Cudi, you're bugging."
Yeah. Yeah. I never liked Kid Cudi anyways. Day and night. What else? What else, man?
I just want to get into G Herbo real quick. Listen, he put out a single called Thug. Um, Maybe not the best title for mass appeal, but it's a great title for me. I want to know what you thought of this song.
I thought it was hard. I liked the sample. This was one of two interesting samples I heard
What was
over
the
the
sample?
weekend. It wasn't it Thuggish Ruggish Bone?
I
I
don't
thought that
even
was
know.
the
I feel
um,
like I had heard it, but I couldn't.
play it.
I think it
Play it.
might.
Go
Yeah.
on YouTube and play it. Because I'm 90% sure it was Thuggish Ruggish Bone.
We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those thugs.
It's the Thuggish Ruggish Bone. It's the Thuggish Ruggish
Yo. Listen, I'm here. I am the G Herbo reporter on this podcast. Listen, I heard this song. And I love this song. That made me love the song even more. Yeah, I cheaped down on the rug, yo. I didn't buy stickies. But back to what I was saying. I think all the late 90s, 2000s rap, mainly the 2000s rappers, all y'all need to go to y'all publishers, go to y'all managers, find all of the OG classic beats. Y'all need to get on a plane to Chicago. Y'all need to go to 73rd. And y'all need to go to G Herbo's mother's house and give them the rights to use all of these songs, bro. Listen. G Herbo's catalog has gotten better with time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like when you go through, if you look at from the time I left high school, like 2018, 2019 to today, the samples he's been able to use since then, it's like, bro, this feel like some 2004. Like, this feel like some real hip hop backpacker. You know what I'm saying? He getting in his bag. He's getting in his bag. He's rapping. He's putting words together in a way that y'all are not ready for. And I think I already came on here and said I think if Kanye West wants his Chicago card still, he needs to do that. He needs to give him all the beats because every single beat he done killed of Kanye West has been cold. And now that I know this was the sample, y'all saw the intro. He's saying more than he letting on. I think this song to me was better than a lot of the album. I ain't gonna lie to you. The album was great, but this song was better than a lot of the album. I ain't gonna lie.
And he dropping a deluxe. Like G
This
Herbo
is
been
on
going
the
crazy.
wait. He already dropped the deluxe.
He did. He said so. He was dropping another project when he said he was dropping it. That was on his IG.
Oh, see,
Something like
because
that.
he dropped the initial album and then he dropped 3 more songs that were bonus, but I thought that was the deluxe. He giving us the deluxe.
I saw that when he posted it. I want to make sure let me go back because I
Giving us the
definitely
deluxe.
saw him say that.
Do you feel like G Herbo will ever get like the respect he deserved as an MC, like globally, like mass appeal? Because I feel like because of how he started out and the stigma he started with, they'll never look at him in like the real MC talks, where it's like, you know what I'm saying? But to me, I
Yeah,
feel like
look.
he's entered that. Wait, let me see this.
Dug Out Now Deluxe on the way.
Yeah. I'm here for that. I'm here for that just because he rapped his ass off on the whole album. But do you
Um,
think G Herbo will get the respect he deserves as an MC? Because I feel like because he comes from Chicago and because he had that he can't rap on beat thing, I don't feel like he'll ever get that. But I want him to.
I think there's a great possibility of that because I mean I saw it firsthand. Like I was at Florida A&M's homecoming. G Herbo was one of the performers, and the loudest people in the room, in the entire, I'm not even kidding, in the entire stadium, were me and my roommate, who were both from Chicago, sitting right by the stage, sitting there. Everybody knew 2 Chains, but it was like when he was playing all the other shit, bro, me and 8 was going crazy. But at the same time, now G Herbo for the past, I would say, like year and a half has been on a crazy feature run too, and I feel like he's gotten with a lot of like the young niggas. So I wouldn't be surprised if people just started to hear his name pop even more just off the features. Like his features have been crazy in the past year and a half, and that's been with artists from like all sides of the US at least. So I don't know about globally. It might take. It's hard for like drill and trap rappers to get like real global appeal. Like they had, it's really hard.
I agree. I think here's the thing. I think if I'm really thinking about sonically how he's changed his his uh his albums and stuff like that, Lil Herb, this last album, to me, it's been for a little while, but this last album wasn't drill to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think he gonna give you a drill song or two, like Blitz. You remember Blitz?
Mm-hmm.
Blitz is hard, but Blitz is a drill song. I feel like he gonna let you know, like, yo, I'm from the rack. But this last album felt like a hip, like to me, he's having like a. I don't want to compare him to Jadakiss, but Jadakiss is like nah, but no. But really, that's what I'm saying. Like Jadakiss has like classic records, right? He got classic albums with the locks, so he has like this whole other career. But I'm talking about if you look at Jadakiss's independent career, like Jadakiss got good albums and good songs. You know what I'm saying? Through his independent stuff, it's not necessarily classic and like global appeal. People don't recognize it, but I feel like a lot of those projects are really good at Jadakiss, and I think that's a good comp on an independent, like on the by himself side. He don't got all the lock stuff, but it's like nobody. I just feel like when people are talking rap, they don't ever throw Jadakiss in there as like a top 25 or a top 50 rapper of all time, right? Like you may throw the locks in there if you start talking groups, but people don't respect Jadakiss like they probably should, right? And I think G Herbo is probably gonna have a career like that.
I think
Because
it's similar
I
to.
don't think he's drill anymore. I think he's left the drill lane. And so if he goes on a third run, I think we got to start talking about him different. But whether or not it's a run, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like this shit's so hard, bro. Pause.
I feel like he's been highly consistent. I would say there's maybe 1 or 2 G Herbo albums where I feel like these were not as good as some of the others. But at the same time, I think it's kind of like Fab too. Like people respect Fab as a rapper, but I still don't feel like people be sitting there rating Fab in their top 10. Fab didn't get global.
Yeah.
He almost felt like a home. I don't want to call him a hometown favorite. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like there's certain rappers where
Cult
it's like
classic. Cult
cult classic
classic.
rapper, bro. Like
Yeah.
you might be cult classic in some other places, but like I don't know about global appeal, and that's the messed up part of it because G Herbo's nice, bro. I think if
Isn't
there's anybody from Chicago who's gonna do it, it was Juice WRLD. Like just
I think bro, sans Kanye, I think he's the best rapper out of Chicago now.
you don't want to rap like Common Sense. You don't want to rap like Common Sense.
I don't want this to be a 45-minute episode, but I feel like it's almost a shame that like our favorite artists and the biggest artists, like the concerted effort they had early in their career. Like think about it, and I'm not comparing him to this person, but think about Kendrick Lamar, right? Like um his mixtape was like highly regarded. Section 80 is Section 80 is so good to people they call it an album.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got Good Kid, Mad City. It's like the energy they put around those first projects, like G Herbo just didn't get that early on, bro, because he was from the rack. You know what I'm saying? Bro put out Pistol P Project in 2014. You know what I'm saying? Ballin' Like I'm Kobe came out in 2016. Who was like Atlantic wasn't finna come get Ballin' Like I'm Kobe. But we was listening to that. You know what I'm saying?
That
Welcome to
shit was
Phaser
live
Land.
around the city, nigga.
Wait, bro, Welcome to Phaser Land was the you couldn't tell me Welcome to Phaser Land wasn't the same it wasn't up there with Marvin Gaye. In 2016, you couldn't tell me that. It was all the same to me. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm sitting here listening, it's like, bro, just because he caught his stride later, right? Strictly for my fans. I'm going through the albums now. Strictly for my fans. That was a nice little, 11 song, throw it out there. Humble Beast. We don't even gotta talk about it.
Humble
We don't even gotta
Beast.
talk about it. Humble Beast was the one. Humble Beast was the one. And then you look at everything after that. He did everything. He did Swervo. You know what I'm saying? He did Still Swerving with Southside, did all that. And then PTSD came in 2020. PTSD was when people were like, okay, let's put some respect on his name. I just feel like because he had, bro, he's been rapping for like 12 years. He about to be on his third run. He about to be on, bro. G Herbo about to be on his third run. That's what I'm finna end it on. You know what I'm saying? We finna had it. I'm finna come on here. I'm go find my backpack, and I'm finna had a rap talk at some point. But he don't get enough respect in just MCs. In just MC, go listen to Thug, bro. Just go listen to Thug. This song was so crazy, bro. This song was so crazy. I'm ready for the deluxe.
Me too. I'm definitely ready for this nigga to drop again, bro. I still listen to that last project, Lil Herb. I listen to that shit a lot.
Jay averaged 31.6 and 4, 31.7 and 4. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he's efficient. He's an efficient scorer because he gets to the line so much. I think the Spurs did exactly what they needed to, where it's like he can get busy, but nobody else can kill us. You know what I'm saying? Which is surprising for the Thunder because they have such a crazy roster.
He is getting to the line, 10, 15 times a game, however many times a game it is. And half of that is just off of pure bad defense, in my opinion. Like once he does this, he literally see it in his eyes every single time. He's looking at you like this, like, oh yeah, I'm finna get you. Like, better not jump here. And then he gonna jump right into you. Like, it's a smart basketball move, but it's mad annoying. Like, I hate that shit.
For like an hour, I was buying into Giannis Gate. Giannis Gate. They're saying people online are being like, yo, trade Chet for Giannis.
I'd do it instantly.
I would too. But now, bro, thinking about it, it's like usually when I see the extreme post, it's like, oh yeah, Bron going to the Knicks or whatever the extreme post is for the summer. I'm usually like, that's never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But I was under the assumption, the way I was looking at this series, this was okay. The Thunder got one more in them, but the fact that Wemby got here this early is scary for the Thunder. Cause it's like y'all in y'all bag, but now y'all playing like the alien type shit. So y'all better get this one and they get out the way. Cause my thing is they still got Dylan Harper coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't even hit their peak. They ain't even went Super Saiyan yet. And they still came in there and won.
De'Aaron Fox still going nuts. Like they got a bunch of people, bro. Like they are nice. They even got Luke Cornett as a great backup center, bro.
He's a great backup center, and they got Kelly Olynyk and Bismack Biyombo and Harrison Barnes as the vets. That's like, crazy. What I'm saying is, okay, you've already taken down the champs in the Western Conference Finals in Game 7. In the West now, it's no longer like for the last couple of years, it's like, what are you gonna do with Jokic, right? What are you gonna do with Jokic? They figured out a way to get Jokic out of here. I think right now in the West, the problems are if Ant Edwards gets an all-star, it's over with. And then there's nothing you could do about the Spurs right now. The Spurs have proved that they're them niggas, bro. And so if I'm OKC, I still got Shea in his prime. He just came off 2 MVPs. Chet, it's like you can't be like, damn, one game. Like I hate that whole thing where it's like, yo, he shot 2 shots, get him out of here. But as OKC, how do you beat the Spurs moving forward? If and that's the thing, it's like if somebody else had a bad game, you could maybe like let's run it back. But Chet and Wemby got this thing where it's like everybody keep talking about it, everybody knows it's there. So it's sort of like a thing of, do you trust Chet in that matchup for the next 10 years? Wemby being 23 years old, whatever the fuck he is.
my answer is gonna be no every single time. And I think the other thing is like they had Jalen Williams who was out. Like that. That's another part of.
I don't think that would have made a difference. I think that would have made a difference.
I,
But I think, but my thing is, I think that's the matchup, right? Like it's like that's the matchup. Like who's gonna guard Wemby? Yes, he probably would have came in, added some more scoring, but he's not finna guard Wemby. Only way I'm thinking about it, and the only reason I thought about this is because at the end of the press conference, Shea was like, I'm gonna trust Sam Presti, the best GM ever in the history of the NBA or some shit. He said something like that. And I sat there and thought about it, and I'm like, who's been better?
no, he's been real good. Like you're right.
I haven't sat down and went through the GMs in the history of the NBA, but to turn KD, Russ, and James into Shea in a championship with a draft lottery pick next year, I don't know. I don't know who else could do it. I don't know who else you got out there, but nobody else is making water into wine like that. So maybe this was the play where it's like, oh, we got one earlier than we expected. Now we got to deal with this nigga out in San Antonio. Let's go get Giannis. You know what I'm saying? I saw something that said Giannis wants to go to Miami. Sorry.
Pat Riley's another one. Funny you said that.
Pat Riley might be one of them too, but they always leave after so many years. So keeping it consistent, the playlist. So IDK put out an album 3 years ago called F65. Right? He categorized it as a jazz album, which I think was fitting in a modern contemporary context because what is jazz? You know what I'm saying? You can't box in jazz. That's the whole point of jazz. And so I think this project is a great place to lean into if you're looking for something like that. There's so many songs on this album, but I would say Telecolor is probably the song I'm going to go with. Telecolor by IDK. I'm going to just give y'all one this week. Keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? If you want a real playlist, you got to stick with us. You know what I'm saying? By mid-July, we'll hit 12 to 15 songs. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be there. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I would ask, listen, leave your favorite G Herbo song in the comments. That's our CTA for the episode, bro. That's our CTA for the episode. Y'all better hope G Herbo never drop again, because I'll make the next episode all about G Herbo. I could talk about him for 20, 30 minutes. I don't care. Okay.
This nigga retire, bro.
Anyway, next week we'll likely either be talking about Harborview, who's bought everybody in their mama's catalog, or we'll be talking about Live Nation. Now, I'm going to talk to my co-host. I'm going to let him lead the episode. He's going to pick. But if you do you know now which one you lean towards? If not, we can make it a cliffhanger and come back.
I'll tell you, but come back for more.
Listen, we'll hit y'all next week, man. We'll hit y'all next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I